before I launched my course, I was like, I could go and like talk about how cool my training is, or if Drew was like, hey, Russell helped me and it was amazing, that's a million times better, right? It's always better to have someone else talk about you than you.
All right, what's up? We're in the Uber. We just landed in Arizona. We are heading over to Dean's office. It's day 3 of the Own Your Future Challenge. I've got a 20-minute segment. I have no slides because they think I overcomplicate things. So I brought my potato gun DVD and a picture of me looked like an idiot when I was like starting this business. So. This is Jamie Kern-Lima. She is super awesome. Met her in Puerto Rico at a Mastermind. We sat by each other awkwardly both, and then halfway through we started talking. I was like, you're really cool. She's like, you're really cool. And then we became friends. Anyway, she sold her business, L'Oreal, for $1 billion. Billion.
When are you gonna send your business for $1 billion?
I'm working on it. Gosh.
Working on it, gosh, Dad.
Please light up the chat for Mr. Russell Brunson. What's up, man? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Russell Brunson!
What's up, everybody? I feel like I'm in a huge stadium with fans and people. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Like Dean said, lucky enough, I flew out here with my twin boys last night, and so they're in the other room. This is like bring your kids to work day, so I'm excited to have them here and hopefully learning and paying attention to some of this stuff. With that said, thank you guys for being here with me. I cannot wait to see you guys as we continue on this program together, and thanks, Dean, for having me here. So thanks, you guys. Thanks, man.
I wish I had the voice of like Russell Brunson.
The Tony D voice.
Yeah, exactly. Can we give it up for Russell? I have to tell you, I don't know if you heard me back there on camera. You can bring that down.
You were laughing at me. I heard somebody laughing.
I couldn't hold it.
Out loud.
I was trying. I didn't want to distract him. We're in the
studio.
studio.
That bad, Russell. I can't believe it.
No, as a matter of fact, tomorrow, because you were so vulnerable, I think I'm going to pull out my first infomercial and make fun of myself.
Yes.
But so many times I feel like so many think, like they see what we're doing and it seems so effortlessly. Believe me, I barely slept for the last 30 days putting this together. None of it's effortless, but it took me 25 years to get here. And to be able to...
I literally remember when I was creating this product, going through Tony's course and being like, man, someday it'd be cool to be like a Tony Robbins. Like thinking that as I was making this. Like,
same thing, it's how
this was the journey for me being here, hanging out with Dean and Tony. Like, it's insane. And what was cool about it is the hardest one, always the first one. Like this was hard because I had to figure out, how do you get a designer to make something that looks cool? How do you record something? I don't know any of those things. I had to learn all this stuff, and I did it, and then it was finished, and I was like, oh, now I have the skill set. And I was like, I'm going to do affiliate marketing, or whatever the next thing was like, okay, I know who to hire to do the design. I know how to make videos. Like, the second time was infinitely easier. So I think a lot of times for a lot of you guys, the very first time, just do something quick. Like, make your version of the potato gun just to, like, practice it, and then you're like, oh, now I got the skill sets. Now you can apply it to anything, and it's really easy at that point.
Yeah. You guys ready for some Q&A? Seriously, no joke. How was this guy's presentation today? Didn't you love his vulnerability? I've watched you speak 20 times, 30 times on stage. Honestly, it was the best ever. And it really gave us a glimpse, because sometimes we forget that where we started from, right?
Yeah.
And if we do, it's like we're worried about stuff today. And I think it was just such a great insight to, we all start someplace, you know?
It was crazy, because recently we went back and started looking, finding these old hard drives. We were cleaning up our office, and I'm like, what are these? I started pushing play, and I was like watching the videos like, oh my gosh, that was the worst ever. And I'm like, I should share that with people. I'm here to help you get in. Okay. Hi, I'm Russell Brunson, and welcome to secondtier.com. I'm here, should I say that? I'm here to introduce you. What'd you say? And it was like so scary to ever show anybody, and then yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And hopefully I start filming your journey, because someday in like 10 years from now, it'll be so cool to look back and be like, man, remember I got started? I was sitting there with Dean and Russell, and we were at the Own Your Future Challenge, and like, look where I am now. Like, it's crazy what happened in a decade if you just start.
Yeah. You know, you said something else that I thought was really powerful. We started on day one, and about 600,000 people saw day one's video. And about 400,000 from all the different channels saw yesterday's video. And I'm guessing, what would you think, maybe 300,000 today? And it's because most people want the easy button. And not because they're bad people, not because it's just we're programmed like, oh, how can I get there quick? And I'm saying that because I really want to applaud you guys for being here, because we have to take that uncomfortable action. We have to be discerned. Look at Melissa's driving right now, and she's listening to us. Thank you, Melissa. Good to see you, right? Some of you are how to take off work and juggle children or juggle what you had going on this afternoon. We know it's not easy, but simultaneously, they're going to miss out on the capabilities and learning from Russell and being inspired by Jamie Kern-Lima and you're not. So.
And the other thing to add to that, just the fact that, because we're in the VIP group right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So for all the VIPers, like we have statistical data that proves that the fact you're in VIP, your likelihood of success, how much higher it is, it's insane. Like just that, because like I look at everything through a funnel. So it's like 1 million people registered, 600,000 showed up to day one, 400,000, 300,000. But then you guys are in this rare thing where you're the VIPs, which means you upgraded. And there is actually statistically proof that you are more likely to be successful than people who didn't upgrade.
True story.
Dramatically, like statistically, it's like night and day. So like just the fact you're here as well is like the next level of that.
All right. Sal, you were waiting so patiently. Can we get Sal back up on the screen?
Oh, what's up?
Good to see you.
I've been
Let's
hanging
give it
out
up
with
for
you guys
Sal.
for a lot of years. Hey, hoo. I'm tired of listening to you guys. I want to get up and speak now. It's like, holy crap, I just want to get up and speak. You know,
awesome.
I got all Russell's book. I got his Unlock the Secrets. I bought all that stuff. I bought all your stuff. I buy all this stuff, but this computer's kicking my butt.
The biggest thing is you said, I want to be on stage speaking. I'm ready now. So what I would say for you and for everyone who's listening is probably some of the best advice I got back in the day and that I can give you guys is like, it's essential for everybody to start publishing today and every day. So like every single one of you guys now that you're into this world, like you are publishers, you're supposed to be publishing something. So it could be blogging, it could be podcasts, it could be video, something, but pick a platform where daily you're sharing your message. So I had a friend who told me initially, it's like if you were to sit down and blog a day, make a 500-word blog post every single day for the next year, he's like, you'll never have to worry about money again. Or if you want to do a podcast, you start doing podcasts, you do one every single day for a year, by the time the year's over, you'll never have to worry about money again. Or video, whatever, Facebook Live or Instagram, whatever, but picking one platform and just start talking. And what's going to happen is a couple things. Number one, it's going to give every single one who's listening here, it's going to give you the ability to find your voice, which is the hardest part of this. You guys saw how bad my video was at first. It's me doing a bajillion videos that got me to the point where I can feel comfortable in front of a camera, right? So it's going to give you time to find your voice. And some of you guys are like, well, I'm going to do this video on Facebook Live or on Instagram, but nobody's watching. And the good news is that at first nobody's watching, which is really, really good, because you're going to be horrible, right? But as you do that, two things will happen. Number one is you're going to find your voice, but number two is as you do that longer and longer, your people, the people you've been called to serve, will have time to find you. That's the biggest problem most people have, is to publish for a month or for 2 months, and then they give up, it's not working. It's like, no, this is long term. Like, I've been doing my podcast now for almost a decade, 3 times a week for a decade. And the first 5 years, nobody was listening. And now we get, millions of downloads from it, but it took consistency. I was in Traffic Secrets, I quoted this, but there's a guy who, I'm blanking out his name right now, but he talked about how if you think about most movies, right, there's so much content being created right now. Like, let's say a TV show, like you don't find out about good TV shows on season 1 or 2, it's usually like season 4, like everyone's talking about it and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back and now watch season 1, 2, and 3. Right? You go back and you wait to see like what's the best stuff's gonna rise to the surface. You're gonna grab that and then you go back and you binge watch all the things, right? And the same thing's true for you. Like at first, you gotta be doing this consistently long enough that people can find you, and then they'll go back and they'll binge watch the beginning and they'll come into it. But it starts with you starting. And so for all of you guys who are listening to this, in fact, I'm curious, everyone who's out there, I can see you, how many guys are like, I'm a writer, I can write, I'm gonna be a writer. If that's you, raise your hand. Okay, for those guys, you guys should start a blog. Go to medium.com, it's free, and start a blog, and just every single day write 500 words. How many of you guys like, writing sucks, I'd rather die, but I can talk? If you can talk, how many of you can talk? Okay, you're my podcasters, so start a podcast. It's really easy. Go to anchor.fm, there's an app you download. It's like $3 or $5. You click a button, you got a podcast that fast. Now, how many of you guys are like, I don't want to write, I don't really like to talk, but I like, put me on camera, I want to be on video. How many of you guys are my video people? Okay, my video people, either do Facebook or Instagram. I don't care. Pick one, or YouTube. Pick one of them. I don't even care. Doesn't matter. But don't do 2 or 3. Just do one. And it's okay. Every single day I'm going to go live for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is. My podcast was literally me and my
in your car.
My first, it's called Marketing Your Car. Was my podcast the first 5 years.
Yeah.
I had an 8-minute commute to my office, so I'd get in my car, I'd click record, and I would drive like this. Hey, this is Russell. Welcome to the Marketing Secrets podcast. Today I was thinking about, and I talk for 8 minutes. I'd be done, and I upload it, and it was live. And again, nobody was listening, but it got me finding my voice, and I did it long enough that my people were able to find me. And so I've started that, that's like a baseline beginning to all the stuff you're gonna be doing. Because you're gonna be building courses and doing all these other amazing things, but it's starting with you just like getting comfortable and doing it long enough for you to find your voice, and then your people will start finding you. So hopefully that helps.
What a great, I love having this guy up because we've worked so hard on some of the same things, but people always say you're great on camera. It's because I've been on camera for 20 years. If I'm not good now, you guys should boo me and throw me out of here, right? All right, raise your hand if you got a question for us. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing well. Thank you, gentlemen, for hosting this, and I appreciate you taking my question here. So it was interesting actually this morning as I was going on a hike. The question, I guess, just to get into it, is this, as we are posting what you were Russell was saying, documenting rather than creating a specific content. That was kind of what I realized, as I was going on a hike and actually talking about just in a little video of things that I'm thinking about. Yesterday, I didn't get a chance to do too much, but posting my video, had to go to a wake, unfortunately, for a gentleman who, family friend, 47 years old, and just made me think about how much, how precious life is, and how much, we could be spending more time, being healthy and being conscious so that we can actually have this time with our loved ones. And it was just as I'm hiking through this beautiful part of a park by my house, I was able to just talk a little bit about what I was feeling. And do you think that it's best to actually, could I be just creating this content of just, my journey through these walks and just a little bit of what I'm thinking? Or is it better to also have myself in the video also? How consistently? I know I've been walking pretty consistently, but I work in real estate during the day, and my schedule is not always as consistent with clients and serving them in that capacity.
Yeah, I would say, so a couple of things. Number one is make sure you're picking a platform that you can be consistent on. Like when I did my podcast in the car, I was like, every day I'm in the car for 8 minutes, so it'll be easy. I'm just gonna click record and do it. It wasn't something I needed a big production thing or writers. The more complex it gets, the less likely you are to be consistent. I say, especially at the beginning, consistency is more important than production value by far. And so it's the consistency. So I'd pick something where if it's 3 times a week, or if it's daily, or if it's 5 days a week or something, pick something that you can stick with, and then make that be the cadence of it. There's no like right or wrong. It's just something that you can be consistent with, because if you're not consistent, you stop doing it, then it's really easy to not keep doing it, So it's like, okay, if I know I'm doing walks 3 days a week, that's gonna be the thing, right? Or if it's, before I go to bed at night, I'm gonna be laying down and it's in my bed, that's what I do. Whatever the thing is, but something where you can pick it and set a cadence and try to be consistent that cadence. Because if you break it, it's like going to the gym. If you work out 3 days a week and then you take a week off, it's hard to get back in the next time,
Would it be on the same days, would you say, or posting at the same time? So like I created this video, I haven't posted because that's just how my day typically goes. It winds up being a late post. Should I be posting that at the same time? Say, go through the day, have the content, and then post it at the same time, say later in the evening, or what's your opinion on that?
Les.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Don't worry about that less. Some platforms matter, like YouTube. There's some things of consistently date and time that matters. Most algorithms don't matter that much. In fact, I would recommend going live just for a couple reasons. It's freaky at first, but man, if we were to record this whole thing and then push play later, the energy would have been way different. There's something weird, at least for me, it's magical.
Yeah, me too. Him and I both love live. And a couple things I'll share with you. What Russell said is what's gonna benefit you more than the perfect time is gonna be just the consistency of doing it. You're much better in the gym trying to get it done without a trainer, but you're still moving forward, right? So the whole point is, I would say the consistency on one platform, what Russell said, is an absolute must. Rather than a little bit here on Facebook or a little bit here, pick one and be consistent. And it doesn't matter if it's 8 in the morning. If you watch my Instagram stuff, sometimes I'm on my 5 o'clock in the morning workout, I do it. Sometimes it's in the afternoon. But everybody knows by the end of every day, pretty much, you'll get a Instagram story from me, right? And it keeps people just coming back all the time. But it took a while to build that. So I'm giving everyone permission. Don't wait till it's perfect. Start now.
There's something weird about vulnerability. I heard, I think Brene Brown said this, but it's talked about how like, to us, being vulnerable seems like we're small and shrinking, but for people on the outside looking in, it makes you look big. And so just remember that, like, as
really
painful as this is for me to put it out there, and I feel like, it's like, it's embarrassing. Like, oh, that's, like, I can't believe I actually said that, It's hard, but then, yeah, for other people, it makes you look big, so it's interesting.
Well, thank you. Let's give it up for Evangelos. Who's got the next question? Raise your hand if you got the next question. Oh my God, we got so many amazing people raising their hand. Let's go with Kathy Levine.
My question is, actually, I don't have a question.
Are you?
No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I am kidding, kind of. But I want to know, okay, so I'm really still kind of fuzzy around just how I find, I mean, my artwork, making a mark, is something that helped pull me through.
Yeah.
And I want to know how I can give that to people. And it just hasn't left my mind. And so.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. First off, I'm going to let Russell go because I'm talking too much, but I want to share this. Your comments, everybody loves you, saying you're amazing, love your energy, you're beautiful, love your hair. So many great messages.
But one thing that I'm a big believer in, like when I decided I wanted to help, because before I was like Russell, who taught people online business and sales funnels and things like that. I was just a guy who was doing it, and I wanted to teach other people. But I was like, do I even know what I'm doing? I don't even know. Like, I know what works for me, but can I help other people? And instead of me just going and like trying to like sell something, like in the process, I was like trying to create a coaching program and stuff. I found some people. I found like who would be my dream people I could work with. So for me, it was this guy named Drew Canoli. He's an entrepreneur, and he was having some success, but he was struggling a little bit. And I was like, he's like my dream customer. If I could work with anybody, it'd be someone like him. So I literally called him up. I was like, hey, Drew, can I come and like work for you for free? He's like, what for? I'm like, I'm building this coaching program. I'm doing this stuff, but I just want to make sure it works. I think it does. It works for me. Like, can I try it on your business? And he's like, well, what are you going to charge me? And I was like, nothing. Like, let me just, I've never done this before, so let me just see if it works. And he didn't believe me, went back and forth, and finally he's like, all right, fine. Like, if you want to pay your own way out here, do. So I flew out to his place, spent time with him and his team. I looked at what they were doing, and I started taking the things in my head, I started applying them to their business. And in a very short period of time, we helped them to dramatically scale what they were doing. And all of a sudden, I was like, I got the confidence of like, oh, it worked for me, it worked. I did what Drew, it worked for him. And like, now I was able to go and do coaching. So I think as you're in this process, you're going through the Project Next training, it's like, find someone who's like you, who you'd love to work with, like your dream client, and just like serve that person. Be like, I'm gonna teach you my stuff and do it for free because I wanna show you this works. And as you start doing that, your confidence will get up, you'll get more comfortable teaching because you'll see it, you'll see the light bulbs go off in their head. And as you're doing that while you're going through this project, man, it'll just make it alive for you, make it fun. So that's my recommendation.
No, and as always, when we answer a question for Kathy, does it make sense for all of us? Who got something out of Kathy's great questions, right? Thank you, Kathy. Let's give it up for her. Okay, who else is, raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. How about Rochelle? You're front and center right in front of me. Let's see what Rochelle's got. How you doing, Rochelle?
Hi.
How's it going?
So excited. It's going really good, actually. I'm so excited that I get to talk to you and ask my question. Hey, everyone. Okay, I have a course where I teach entrepreneurs and real estate investors how to get capital for their businesses so they can grow their legacy. Now, I did my beta course already, my beta launch, and I got a few people in. Everyone had results except for one person, and she was on a payment plan, and she, went in my DMs after, and she said, okay, I'm sorry I didn't finish paying. I want to finish. I talked to the other people in the group, and they said it really works. But now I'm like, I'm stuck. Like, okay, what do I do now? How do I get more people in? And now I'm like, okay, do I need a funnel? I need ads. I need to build a team now. Do I need so I'm doing all these different things, and I'm one person, and I enlisted my son that's 14. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy some funnel courses and some ad courses, and I want you to learn that. And then I have my little sister. I'm like, okay, I need you to help me with the calls. I'm going to teach you how to sell it and, all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Well, first of all, congratulations for getting some sales. Can we give it up for Rochelle?
Thank you.
Look at that smile. I know you're excited about saying something. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, how many success stories did you get from the beta launch? 5. Okay. So let me tell the second half of my story I talked about when I helped Drew Canoli. So after I helped him, before I launched my course, I was like, I could go and talk about how cool my training is, or if Drew was like, hey, Russell helped me and it was amazing, that's 1,000,000 times better, right? It's always better if someone else talk about you than you. Like, I would go back to those 5 people and be like, depends on, I don't know where they're at. Like, I would almost have them fly to you and say, hey, who wants to go to a graduation retreat in my house? Fly out, and they probably pay their own way to be around you anyway. Have them fly out, get a nice camera, and record their stories. Like what happened, and have them tell the timeline before, and then what happened during, and where they're at now. And that there becomes an amazing story that you can use in a funnel, it can use in an ad, it can use in 1,000,000 places. But the most valuable resource you have after you create a course or a product or anything is the success of your students. And some people give people success and they keep moving on to the next thing. It's like, stop everything, go capture that story, because that's I mean, your funnel could literally, like when I launched my coaching, it was a $25,000 coaching program. It was a video of Drew saying, Russell is awesome, apply down below. That was it. There was no complicated sales. There was no phone calls or scripts. It was just someone else saying, this thing worked for me too. So for you, I was like, you got 5 success stories. Like I would, even if it means you flying out to them or whatever it is, like to capture those, because that's like I mean, again, that becomes part of your funnel, your ad, your sales thing on the Mastermind platform. There's a million ways to do it, but that's the first thing I would be looking at.
Thank you.
Any last words, Mr. Brunson?
Hey, I think the biggest thing is just, I said it in my presentation, but so many guys have started on this process once or twice and you got derailed or you stopped. And like the biggest thing is if you want to be successful in any area of life, but especially this, you stop stopping. Like just keep moving forward, keep doing it. And if you do that, that's where we talked about this as a funnel. 1 million people registered, 400,000. It keeps coming down. Like the people who make it to the end, the people who are successful, are those who stop stopping and keep moving forward. So just keep doing it. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things. Now, I've been doing this now 19 years, whatever, looking back, like, man, if I could go back to myself 19 years ago, I would just like kept shoving myself, like, just keep doing it. And for all you guys, same thing, like, just don't stop, just keep, like, this stuff works, it's real. I can tell you thousands of people I know who've had success with this process. It'll work for you guys too. You just gotta stop stopping and do it. So hope that helps.
Thanks. Thank you, Russell. Seriously. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, buddy.
Final thoughts of the day. I think overall for the whole Mastermind team, it's a huge success. There's so much that goes into something like this. You guys have no idea. Like 1 million people register, it's crazy. For me, my favorite part is the fact that my kids were here and they had a chance to sit around, listen to conversations by osmosis, hopefully pick up a couple ideas and get inspired. And now we're gonna head out. We're gonna go find Matt and Caleb Maddox. We're gonna go out and serve some people and hopefully have a really cool experience tonight as well.